have yet to leave the field. But I have no reason. I mean, I'm asleep, but I be trying to live my dream. I cannot even ask if it's all easy. Either you gon' do it or you don't really. It ain't no in between, baby. You can ask the sun. It's an everyday thing. Consistency in your routine is how you bring reality. Working like a slave, that's how I made this masterpiece. Living like a god, I lay at night, I rest in peace. They remember me, but I am not around the beat.
MyPDFBooks.com. That's books with a Z. They remember me, but I am not around.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by MyPDFBooks.com, where reading funds the mental. Also brought to you by My Sons Teas, the Tea of Teas, divinely prepared. We also have musical stylings by BH Bay Music. That's bhbaymusic.com. Also, be sure to check out MorrisHaberdasher.com for all of your religious regalia and your everyday items. And don't be shy. Visit our sister company, BindingBooks.com, for all of your binding book needs. And all of these companies are powered by ALO Design Pros to make all of your marketing dreams come true. And without further ado, we present to you Sheik Kari Living Lord.
Peace, family. Peace, peace, peace. What's up?
Peace, peace, peace.
Peace, 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 peace.
Peace, Noble Zoe. How you doing, bro?
Doing great by Allah's grace. How you and Empress doing?
We doing great, man. We're doing great. You're doing great, Noble. Glad to hear your voice, man.
Islam.
Noble Lamarck did an amazing book club reading yesterday.
Islam.
Touched on some key points that needed to be explained the way that he explained things. So I give gratitude for Noble for that yesterday. Islam. I took a lot of notes too, man, and that's what, like I said, man, when brotherhood is good, when things need to be said the right way, just to make sure we all have an understanding. And then if we have an understanding, you should be able to explain the understanding and use references from life. So that's where I say this more, what this more science consists of for me. It is knowledge, order, rhythm, astrology, astronomy, nature, understanding ourselves, understanding the elements, the divine aspect first, because we can get to the legality of things when we operating right in the spirit. But I just, wanted to reiterate on the importance of leaders and what leaders are. And a leader does not mean it's just you. That's a dictatorship. When we talk about and use analogies of one body with many parts, that's a well-operating machine. So it takes you and I to build a tribe, to build a nation. So I give honor to the cipher, man. Islam. But today, man, I want to get back to a little bit of the basics, y'all. And we're going to jump into a little bit of literature that I gathered, compiled, and divinely prepared from different sources to bring to you a clear understanding, or should I say the elements, or should I say a schoolmaster, when we're trying to get into any science or understanding as philosophers. That means we should have some form of aptitude. That means we should have some form of manuals to be able to compare and contrast. And that's what we have here. When the scriptures talk about a small group of men and women, that's what a sheikh is a brother or a sensei or Sufi of a small group of people. We make this grow. So I want to give honor to my brothers and sisters again. I have to say that because many are called, but few are chosen. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Islam.
I want to say gratitude, most definitely. But we're going to talk about just a little bit because, man, if I can share, just wanted to talk a little bit before we get started, but if I can share the emails that I get every day, y'all, from brothers and the phone calls about how men have lost their houses and how this done happened, how they went to jail and the police took their feds and they be getting followed every day. Now, these are not young men. These are men in their 40s. And I just want people to be clear with what moral science consists of. Moral science is not some sovereign citizen behavior. Moral science is not overthrowing no government. Moral science is not expatriating from this so-called de facto government. Then when you do that, you're stateless and you would be a domestic terrorist, foreign and abroad. I try to tell every brother and sister, I would never tell you what to do. But if you don't know what you're doing when you're doing, and you don't know all facets of the law, and you jump into something on a thought and not law, you're going to be misused. And then I ask you, these brothers, was it really worth that fight? You losing your house, losing your job, Noble Alonzo? Because still today, Moors are still operating as sovereign citizens with that conversation. So that's what struck me today before I got into my message, because we're real people on here. And we have people on here that follow us on YouTube, on my personal page. And we never talk about these situations. We just try to brush them under the rug, you know? Like if you have somebody in your family that wasn't right, you know, and we know he doing this, he continue to do that. And we don't address that situation, or vice versa. I'm just using that as a scenario. We got to start being vanguards for this movement, especially what the prophet put out there, because the Noble Drew Ali didn't put nothing out here to be illegal or be radical. Are y'all with me, man?
Absolutely.
I just had to say that today, man, because it just amazed me how many calls I get every single day and emails from brothers saying, man, they want to correct their status. And then I ask them, well, what is a status correction? They can't even tell me. And see, this is real conversation. Well, I want a status correction. I say, okay, what is a status correction? Or my last name is a slave name and I'm an El or Bey. And I said, okay, but everybody is an El or Bey when you understand it. Your last name is your family crest. So anytime when a person don't understand science, all you got to do is research your last name. Whatever your last name is, you look it up and look up your family crest or your coat of arms. My last name is Goodman. All I do was research, especially when I was on college. I looked up everybody's last name and connected it to Europe. When I say you are the ancient and modern Britons, it's already written. And so your last name is your family crest, AKA your coat of arms. So do anybody know what your coat of arms is? Somebody talk to me.
Islam, you let us do that journey. Making sure we go in and making sure we do that research, that legwork to see what our family crest is based on our name. And a lot of times we might even hear people say, oh man, my government name. Mm-hmm. So your government ain't giving you no name, that's your mama, man. Your mama named you. You are your mother's child. So that name, as far as being synonymous with a slave name, that's big news. So, Islam, Sheikh.
Yep. And I wish I had time to grab one of my coats I had made with my family crest. I got one made for my dad on his birthday, and I got one made for me when I researched my family crest and my coat of arms. And I started researching things. When I always say, I'm not saying it wasn't any so-called slave to come from the continent of Africa, but that's not where all Asiatic men came from. It was men already here in the Americas. And it's been proven through scholarship. It's been proven through scholarship. So I just want to be clear on that. And when you talk about your last names, and when I give credit to empresses, I recommend this piece of scholarship. It's called The Return of the Ancient Ones of the Washita D. de Hundinghai Empire, the Washita Files by Empress Verdice Tierra, Washita Turner Gostin L. Bay. And you remember how they tried to twist the name and turn it from Washita to Washington, and from Tunic to Turner. And the scholarship is already here. And this is the Empress. They gave her land back. The films that I sent y'all, I told y'all we're gonna start having film day, and a lot of those films I sent y'all know was from C. Freeman L. C. Freeman L. speaks on her in one of the lectures, and he have her come speak, because you see how the government gave her back all that land, and it wasn't a Louisiana purchase. It's proven in the research. So that's what I try to tell brothers and sisters when pseudo academia attach our kids all to slavery, and they're not teaching the truth of the science, what was already here. So I just wanted to put that out there when we are identifying and when we are gathering. I want us to be clear what we're doing. I always like to set a precedent before I speak to let us know that we're not here to go outside the parameters of the law, because we operate under Allah, and we know law governs all events. Are y'all right? Talk to me, family.
Absolutely. Islam shit.
I just want to have a conversation, because when I'm speaking, anybody can ask any question, because I don't want no one to go outside of when we teach and go do things and get themselves in trouble and continue to lose their jobs and continue to get harassed by the police acting like sovereign citizens. I don't want no more calls. This is what I'm trying to tell people. If you think that's what this is about, continue to do it. Continue to do it. I know what's happening. Then you don't have any money. You playing yourself to the courts. So you're getting a court appointed attorney, and they're making you plead to a lesser charge. And you're coming back out in the world not right. See, I don't, and this is what I don't want people to continue to use things as fallacies, Malik. Like, it's no such thing as it's some more law that you can sign some paperwork and it's going to make you obsolete over judgment of crimes.
Right, absolutely.
I mean, I just want to say that, man, before I get into this, man, it's nothing that you can.
The law is no excuse.
Yeah, Malik, like, this is asinine. We talking about grown men. I was on the phone for hours yesterday. I'm like, brother.
Yeah, I was just talking to a brother from our union rep yesterday, because they had a barbecue for us, and I was talking to a brother, and I really just pointed out the fact that, in the union they use laws, right? Because your union book is basically a law that you're governed by because you signed a contract, right? So you have to abide by those rules, but there are some rules that supersede that contract because they are state labor laws that you can't railroad. You can't even null and void them through a contract. There's some of them, not all of them. But I was telling him, I said that Webster Dictionary and law words the definitions are different. People try to bring a Webster Dictionary to a legal battle. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Because the Webster Dictionary words are full of emotion, content, because their definitions grow. And if you're not looking at the origin of the word and where it comes from, you're going to be lost.
And I just, man, before we go on, man, if anybody got anything they unsure of, if anybody been hitting you up, asking you some things, this is the time to say that before we get into this. Because I know a lot of times brothers be holding things back. And I told the brother, I said, man, I'm going to start sharing what people send me, because I know a lot of brothers be thinking the same thing or want to try to do the same thing. It's just, Malik, y'all had the privilege to be with me for a minute to go through all that, for I can expose all that to you without putting nobody names out there, and able to see it and see people get their head bust and see people lose in court and come out here and act like, it's like, dude, that you operating wrong, brother. None of this should cause you to go to court. Nothing. So I just want to say that before we get into this teaching, man. And I didn't say names, but brother, man, please continue to navigate correctly, man. That's all I got to say, and peace and love. But anyway, let's get into this little introduction of the Divine Creed. Now, a lot of us, especially, how can I say, even Moors, really not getting a clear understanding of the divine aspect of Moorish science. And when I tell new people that come around in the cipher, especially ladies, like our doors are always open for empresses. That's what this whole science about. That's one of the understandings and esoteric meanings of the fez that we rock on our head. We represent the womb, we represent the woman, we represent the divine eye. The fez is all about honoring the woman. When you see a picture of Noble Drew Ali with the woman in his hand, that means the woman need to be lifted back on the rock because she's been done a certain wrong way. And it's for us to straighten the woman back up and put her on back up on the rock straight up. It's all a symbology. And so that's why I say with myself and what we're doing right here, this more science to me, and what the Holy Spirit brought to me is for the women to take it back to the seeds, the men to follow. You know, we have to continue to talk to our empresses. Me and my noble in Vegas, that's what we was talking about the whole time. Like, but yeah, the ladies got the boys and the babies and the girls. We just need a spark. So that's what we're doing here at the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. And we're going to continue to be diligent. We're going to continue to speak on science and challenge each other. And we welcome all Moors to be in this cipher, no matter where you are. You're more than welcome to join us and sit with us, because we're trying to build something here. So a lot of us seen the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and one of these books, I'm quoting for one of my books, Interpretation of the Divine Creed of Moorish Islam. But a lot of times, I don't know, Brian. Yeah, thank you, Noble Brian. And you can go to the first page, if you don't mind, with the picture of the Prophet. I don't know if you able to do that. You hear me, Noble Brian? But anyway.
No.
Okay. But anyway, when you see that picture of Noble Drew Ali, I mean, this isn't times when a lot of us wasn't even born. And that's an image of, AKA, they call it an American black man dressed in robe, sash, fez, posing formally, hand on breast like Napoleon, labeled Prophet Noble Drew Ali, 1886 to 1929. 1886 to 1929. To recover the meaning of the obscure and enigmatic portrait, we must rediscover a lost, secret portion of our own history. And now the author is saying, because I'm quoting from a book of Peter Lambert, The Sacred Drift, these Europeans, whatever you want to call them, Albion, Tralodite, whatever, they've got their people. They're telling you about a part of history about an American prophet that looked like you and I, what he's done for his people. And then we have the audacity to play these mind games and not investigate these truths. Listen what it's saying. It said, from an American history is defined for us as much by its absences and disappearances as by its official presence. Indeed, perhaps even more so. The official sources describe Noble Drew Ali as founder of the first, and I quote, Black Islamic sect in America. In truth, he was less than this. Now, when he say in truth, he was less than this is not an insult. This is not an insult. The reason why it's not an insult, I want to speak that before I continue, is because it was Moors and it was God men that taught the science before our prophet. Our prophet brought the Moorish Science Temple of America. But you remember, man, you had Deuce Muhammad Ali. You had Abdul Hamid Solomon. Our prophet had to be inspired by Deuce Muhammad Ali. Had to. If Alonzo was before my time and he was on the battlefield the same way that I was, wearing his fez, writing literature, you think I'm not going to know or be inspired by Alonzo? That's just like if I'm Kobe Bryant trying to act like I wasn't inspired by Jordan.
Right.
Think about what I'm saying. The inspiration, when I say we got to get out of that gang mentality and say, man, it's going to be a God man in every dispensation. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. Peace, universal knowledge, peace and love from to you, Noble. It's going to be a God man per se in every dispensation. That's why I say, man, I want us to get into culture. I want us to get back into the elderness of this science instead of the gangmatic perspective where we acting like Crips and Bloods and we can't cipher together, Noble Malik. And we showing that. And we showing we can cipher together because all y'all from different areas, this is what I'm talking about, you know? This is what I'm talking about. Not showing both of our hands to say we can't get along, or like we banging over truth or falsehoods that can be strangely mixed. We should be able to sit down as a body of Moors collectively, all sets, sit down as a grand body and build a community in the right way and get rid of the falsehoods and get rid of all the sovereign citizen stuff and have those perfect people come together as a chain link in all demographic areas. That's what this is about, you know? So it's only one science. It's only one temple. Yes, we can operate as subordinate schools and all that stuff, but it's the right way to do things. And if we're not going to do it based on the teachings and how the temple was set up and all that, and continue to confuse people and use a little bit of truthhood and use people as crash dummies, having them file false paperwork and all this, getting people housed to, getting them looked at as militia, getting them kicked out of their jobs because they don't know a certain cities is right to work states. Come on, we should be able to sit down and have these conversations. We should be able to sit down as adults of Moors all over and say, man, let's compare and contrast to see what's the outcome with these behaviors. Let's look at the precedented law cases, the doc number, the Free Information Act. Let's do it from the real perspective. And then see will any of that stuff hold water to see can somebody nationalize you or denationalize you over here. To see if somebody that you met on the internet is some consulate general of Morocco. And see how asinine and how silly that may sound. See how silly that may sound. You meet somebody on the internet and they saying that they corrected your status. See how asinine it'll sound. You talking about you got some Moors travel documents from somebody that you met on the internet. And then if that's really valid, that should tell you how crazy the system is. If you really think that pageantry stuff, that's really a government document, if you think that, then so be it. But as you continue to think and as you continue to move on, you have to say it's cosmetic or it's your religious or your club organization paperwork, you know? You said, and look, and I'm on my YouTube page. This brother said exactly. There was a Moorish brother in Texas just lost his life in a traffic stop this week. He shot a Mo. He shot a cop Mo. And this is what I'll be telling people. They be getting this information. I ask everybody, where are y'all getting this information from? Because we can sit down as a cipher, as a grand body, and deal with law and remove your feelings. And let's see who's right and let's see who's wrong. I bet you I'm not going to be wrong. I done this in academia when I be trying to tell brothers, I say, remove your feelings. I can save a lot of people from going to jail. You just got to do it the right way, brother. We just got to link up together. It's a way to do this. It's no secret. It's sacred. It's a system. I have a system. That's what I tell brothers. Like, you got to use what we already have. We got to use what we already have. And I show you how you giving something to Uncle Sam and you can be ciphering it somewhere else and getting the same amount of credit, but building your temple and your body up in your community. So this is what I'll be telling people, man. I just have to say that, man, because a lot of people are operating on a misunderstanding and going to lose their lives. And I'm glad the brother Universal Knowledge Publications said that. I know what's happening out here, man. I know where them brothers at. They rotting in jail and they pleading to a lesser charge. I'm not going to say no names. It's continued to happen with middle-aged men. Y'all, they need to stop this. It's no counsel, it's no piece of paperwork, no Zodiac law that you're gonna take in some court and you're gonna walk out of there or put your feet out and say abracadabra kadu and you're gonna be out of them crimes. Yeah, because how stupid that sound. That's what I'm saying. None of that stuff works, man. And people go to jail and they lose their lives. I'm telling you, man. So we got to be able to have these conversations when we on here. We just can't have one view of Moors and one group or a set of people being a whole example of how Moors do it and how we act in a community? Because all my brothers is a part of the community. I just want us to know that, man. Let's imagine if we was all in an area, we telling us we can't get along. The 5%ers, the Moors, the Hebrew Israelites, the so-called Black Masons, the so-called Christian brothers that understand something, the Muslim brothers, you telling me, the so-called Indians, you telling all of us copper-colored races that come from a culture that's all brothers and sisters and cousins, you telling me we can't come to the meeting of the minds?
Yeah, we can. I just ran into when I came out of the school, I just actually ran into a brother that had his shirt tied like a she-mag, right? And I was like, hey, bro, we need to get you a real one. You know what I mean? Like, hold on, let me go. I grabbed him my card and I started talking to him. He was like, what are you? I said, no, I'm a Moor. And then he was like, well, is that the Israelites? I said, yeah, it depends on like how you look at it, but I know what you're talking about. And then I said, the funny thing is, I'm saying exactly what you just said, Sheik. I said, the funny thing is, you're referring to Al-Islam. I said, I ain't talking about that. I said, we're about bringing all of us together. And I said, the funny thing, you're here for a football game, right? He was like, yeah. I said, your son out there playing with people who don't look like him, right? Yeah. He was like, yeah. I said, so why can't we all come together from different houses and come together? Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, yeah. I said, exactly.
Yeah.
I said, shoot me your number, man. So I put my number on his phone, I shot it to him, and I sent him some information.
Yeah. I mean, it trips me out. And see, brothers on here, he said this is information, unfortunately, attracts a lot of people with mental illnesses. And I'm glad other people are coming on my page saying this and being straight up. I told y'all, a lot of these brothers and even these sisters, all you got to do is look in their eye. When you look, you can look in a person's eye and see where their angle is. If you under a discernment, if your spirit is right, you'll be able to see the offness. You'll be able to smell the radicalness, just like in IDMR, when we talk about being spiritually or physically drunk under the alcohol. The spirit should be able to judge the spirit. So, and this, what I'll be saying about this science should never get you in trouble. If you willing to sit down with a body of people, just like if you was a doctor or we are chemists, we'll be in the laboratory with our test tubes and our beakers, and we'll be in there, all of us doctors, all of us holy men, and we'll be in there dissecting the science, passing around from all different levels of understanding, putting the big compilation together. This is what I'm talking about. This is what's here, and I say we can't be afraid to be dominant like that, and be bold like that, and be manufactured like that, because that's what it takes. It takes a confidence. The devil's main recipe is doubt and fear. Like Malik was saying earlier, like you saying you can't and saying you will when we was working out. You see what I'm saying?
That's devilish thoughts.
Yes.
Yes. Got nothing to do with something you ain't never seen with some horns. They ain't got nothing to do with none of that.
Man, we got to clean this up, man. And it take all our brothers to do the likes, like Universal Knowledge Publications. Just like the brother that called me yesterday in SOS, said he lost everything and this, that, and the other. And I only talked to that brother for about like 15, 20 minutes. Man, he went almost, you wasn't even saying nothing no more. Just like, damn. I said, see, brother, if all you have to do is reach out. And the brother said he'd been following me for over a year, over 2 years. And you ain't reach out, you just jumped into something and you've been following somebody for that long, and you'll wait till you lose everything to come to me. And that's what I tell us. Everybody shouldn't come to me in an SOS moment, Noble Malik. You feel me?
Uh-huh.
We should come willingly as be like, wait a minute, this is a source. This is a source. I'm not competition. That's what the enemy, the satanic spirit has did to us. When they put us all in a certain area, we feel we got to take each other out instead of banding together.
And they put us in a race.
Yes. In a biblical day, I call it the pantheon, where everybody just compete. It's like, no, but we more than athletes. We need to show the world that we intellectuals, we're scholars, we're Moors, and the meaning of the mind should happen. That's why I say I use this internet to bring people together. We getting ready to have our 5th Moorish ball, our meet and greet. We can do some things
We are.
as we continue to do. But
Yep.
I know we'll be getting all off the subject, but we just having a conversation. We just having a good time. But the official sources describe Noble Drew Ali as the first black Islamic sect in America. But in truth, he was less than this because there was black Muslims before him, you know, but he was an American prophet. Just like if Malik brings something to us, in our science, it tells us what's a prophet and an angel, don't it?
Clothed in the flesh.
So we not gonna disrespect nothing when we have something that's giving us a clear understanding. That's a prophet and an angel. That's a person in the flesh showing you the way. That's what that is. So certain vernacular we have to accept. Okay, this is a prophet. This is what? This is an angel. What? We ain't talking about no angel in the sky. We angels. If we coming to bring a divine message to our brothers and sisters based off your teachings, if you operate in the right science, you a prophet and an angel clothed in the flesh, and nobody can tell you nothing no different. Not even me. You see?
Yep.
We get that. This is the understanding when we, as I'm saying, as we should come collectively, operating in the flesh as prophets and angels amongst each other. And when we operate as prophets and angels amongst each other, Noble Malik, that's a way we're going to treat each other. That's the way we're going to be around each other. That's how we're going to build these bridges and not bridge gaps. That's what this Moorish science is about. It's only one teaching. It's only one prophet.
We gotta make sure people know that we don't dismiss the essence of the rest. We study all.
Yes, but our teachers tell you this. We don't gravitate to one science to where we miss the essence of the rest. We're under the triple rose. When I ask a lot of Moors, they have no understanding or idea of what we be talking about. They be like this. So I said, what our teachers know high science. I'm giving a schoolmaster with my brothers. I said, so your sheik, your school that you under don't teach you the triple rose, don't teach you the 3 religious rights to have a clear understanding, to show you how the Bible and the Quran synchronizes. People just lost in translation, the linguistics that scholarship prove. Come on, Malik.
People be like that.
So that's what we're saying here, and the writers is telling us. It said that he said he could have stepped from the gates of Melville or Ishmael Reed, saying that he's a thought of Allah clothed in the flesh. This is Peter Lambert Wilson from the Sacred Drift on the Margins of Islam on page 15. All this research we have, man. The European always wrote about Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Peter Moon. All these brothers wrote about Prophet Noble Drew Ali in old writings. Even the European Scottish Rite Masons give homage to Noble Drew Ali on his 135th birthday. So we have.
Yeah. You did that on YouTube, right? Recently.
Yep. He said, Universal Knowledge said, your school explains the clergyman versus the dogma, Sheikh Islam. Yep. It's certain levels that you have to be able to give a clear understanding to. You have to understand the Paraclete, the Fatimid, the Jewish per se, the Catechism, because that's what the Quran is consisted of. You have to understand the Kabbalah. You have to understand the Zohar. You have to understand the Sephirots. You have to understand biology, language, denotation, connotation, etymology. You have to know how to really work the compass. You have to understand that you can put a circle in a square. They just have different parameter. They both are 360 degrees. You have to know that as a mathematician. You have to know that the Fez and the graduation crap is the hex alpha. Those are both 360 degrees of wisdom. You have to know that. You have to be able to explain that eloquently. You have to understand what the 12 constellations is pertaining to what's in your brain or in your hippocampus. You must know the Gnostic science. So when you get into things and understand that Lucifer is the morning star. And when it's talking about your hippocampus, all those things you have to understand. You have to know how to speak Kabbalistically when you think that Baphomet is something scary. and it's written Kabbalistically. So it's resurrecting ancient teachings that a lot of people, when they talk about Alice Crowley and all this, that took the science and reversed it and threw it back to you as spookism or black magic. It's just a fact. So I want us to be clear with this. Even Pascal Beverly Randolph, as we start showing you more science, even Adam Blavatsky, when you will see a lot of more is given credit to, but they give credit to the prophet. They give credit to Noble Drew Ali. What I'm saying is we got to start loving our own brothers and sisters. This is what I'm saying. We got to stop looking outside of ourselves and saying it's someone that can do it better than us. It's someone that can do it better than Malik when it ain't. We should be bringing this cipher together and spread it out with who? The light seekers. That's what this is for. That's what we're using the internet for. What? To bring people together under a cipher, to figure this mathematical equation out under love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I thought that's what we're supposed to be doing.
That is.
I mean, when a person says something is hidden from us, and I say, okay, if Malik say, well, he got the key, and all you got to do is come on in. It's no secret. It's sacred with Malik because he take it dear to his heart. And if we say, man, we got something for you, and you still don't come and you do something crazy, that's some type of mental disease, Malik.
Cognitive dissonance.
Come on.
There you go.
And they leave on ego. Yes, come on. And they leave on ego. They leave out of the cipher on ego because you're still in your lower self. Why? Because we're not willing to give a part of ourselves. As men, that's how they conditioned us. That's how they got us men. I don't care if you wear a fez or turbans not, and got all of us scattered based on ego and not on truth, because it's always going to be somebody in a dispensation that's going to be able to take the science further. There's nothing wrong with that. There's going to be people that's anointed, that's able to do this work. That is their lives on all levels. It's going to be some people that's going to be peculiar, that's going to steer you the right way. It's just going to take work. Why? Because it's no fraud. It's no Ponzi scheme. It's no pyramid scheme here. It's no false paperwork that we're going to do here. I'm going to show you how to do things the right way and what the religion and laws tell us we can do as a body based off how the prophet set the temple up. And we take that out in the world because the work is done, y'all. The work is done. We must just operate in the right way for we can correct certain things, for brothers can ask certain questions, for sisters can ask questions instead of being pulled. Because people be pulled so easy. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, Noble Malik. I don't be talking about no one, but I when I travel, when I go places, I see how people's attention can be pulled. It's like if it's no party going on and this stuff party and you got discipline, it's almost like you instant to go to the party and get polluted instead of staying on the mission that you're trying to get on. It's very simple, man. But the prophet, but what Noble Drew Ali combined elements from a number of different sources. He combined the Pan-Africanism of Marcus Garvey, because in the beginning of the Morse Quran, don't y'all see Marcus Garvey in there after the analogy of John the Baptist, right?
Yep, the harbinger, yes, sir.
I mean, I'm just breaking down the symbology of what we got to correct certain things and not be out here on two different understandings. He brought in the Garvey, the Christianity, the Islam, the Theosophy, the Freemasonry, the Islamic elements, included our prophet, the claim to be of the prophets of Allah and of the Holy Quran, as he broke the Circle 7 Quran down, as we started to play the C. Freeman L videos, composed in 1927. And the 64-page Holy Quran bore little resemblance to the Islamic Quran. So here, right here, is telling you that it bore little resemblance to the Islamic Quran. That means it's telling you it wasn't like that. And so when you get those other type of Muslims, I don't have a problem with no one that do 5 salats or whatever. I'm not going against no one, but the science we under is not al-Islam. I'm sorry. The science that I'm under is Islamism. The science I'm under is Sufism. I'm a Tasawwuf. So I'm not under no science where I miss the essence of the rest. And I don't study anything outside of myself, because anything outside of myself is true shirk. It doesn't matter how nobody else feel about that. You know, no matter how nobody feel about those truths for me and how we operate under our creed, but it did contain significant elements from the Bible, the apocryphal, Yahshua, aka Jesus Gospels, and our Rosicrucian manual, which is the Unto Thee I Grant. It's a form of Freemasonry text in addition to the material from the Quran. When I talk about the Vedas and the Brahmin text, I ask any more because the Moorish Quran only a few pages, 60 some pages, 64. Nobody never read in the Moorish Quran where it talked about the Brahmin text and the Vedas.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
if I'm a student of the Quran, which I am, which anybody else should be, any book that you reading of in a book that's a holy book that's got to compile for your set, wouldn't you want to at least investigate those books? Because those are the sources of what a material and scholarship, we have to be quoting that information from the original source. We might have to do it in a certain form of way, APA format, Chicago style, but you have to sort the site of the information you got it from. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep, absolutely. Facts.
So in the Bible, also, it talks about other prerequisite books. In the Bible, it talks about so many books as prerequisites. The Bible talks about at least 12 books, all different books that should be read before that to give you a little clearer inner understanding. And the book of Yasher is just one. You say what, Noble?
I said prerequisite.
Mm-hmm.
Prerequisites.
This is what I'm saying, y'all. So we can come to a clear understanding. But our prophet, he taught that misnomer African American were Asiatics and who could trace their ancestry back to Morocco. So when we say a form of Morocco, you have to talk about a certain continent, not Moroccan. And beyond that of Yahshua, African Americans should abandon their, and this is where I jump in when he say their slave identity. I understand that too, and religion, and claim their heritage. Because when a lot of times they say change, you say what, Noble?
That's the mentality.
Yes, absolutely. That's where I'm saying. That's where
How you say it? Negrocentric. How you say it?
Negrocentric.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it. It was good talk. That's
Yes.
what it's talking about.
Yes. But see, when I use words, when I'm writing a dissertation, when I write in a format of kind of asking you questions, not solving it for you, for your antennas can come up, so you can come back to the cipher and ask questions. It's almost like a mystery as I put things together, like this Scooby-Doo, and you get all the pieces of the puzzle and be like, okay, bing, 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 bing. Yeah. And you start answering your own questions. Why? Because we be going through this. It's repetition. That's the glory of this, when you know it's right, because it's gonna come the same way every time. You're gonna have the reference. You're gonna be able to do this, no matter if it's law, dealing with finances, dealing with agriculture, dealing with starting something from the heart, anything. But then it said they should abandon their slave identity and religion and reclaim heritage. Yes. Then they have to be explained. Like I said, you just don't tell nobody to abandon nothing and don't have a reason why abandonment should happen. If Malik just screamed out, abandon this ship, and the ship ain't leaking, well, I'm just gonna watch him jump off. But it says converts generally added our nationality or our nobility suffix with el or bay. Added a suffix. This is what I'm trying to talk about. You add, you annex. Do we know what annex consists of?
Yes.
Okay. I hope we know that. Annex means just adding to, putting next to, you know? That's what this is about. And when we talk about our ID cards and it said men wore fez and turbans and women wore a white or red turban, they say we avoid eating pork and all that stuff. But this is what I'm trying to say. None of that having a fez, a turban, or having no ID card is gonna stop nothing from happening to you if you're not operating right. That's what I want to be clear when we talk about divine creed and bylaws. You know, this is I think this is very important. Sometimes we can worship the wrong ideas. The wrong ideas can be the wrong thoughts. And that's why a lot of times we are in a predicament we in today. And so I'm just trying to return something back to us. You know, you can read in the Surah 45, ayah 28 of the Quran. It says, and you will see each nation humble to their knees, kneeling, each nation will be called to its record of deeds, vine and fig tree. This day you shall be recompensed for what you used to do. It's meaning you going back to your vine and fig tree. Just like in the Bible, in what, Leviticus 25, and what is that, 25 and 10, on the bottom of the Liberty Bell, and the analogy, it's the same thing. When I start comparing and contrasting the two teachers, when I show people that the Bible and the Quran synchronize, and nobody can sit up here and keep denying that because they haven't read the cipher, and the cipher is nothing but elementary wisdom. I'm sorry, you know, it's just what it is. But
Don't be sorry.
No, but it's just what it is. But it relates to our deeds and actions. But yet a deed is a manifest of thought. So if we use in our thought in the manner of descent, brothers, this leaves all the room for the lower self to manifest. But we know what the lower self is, and we know well of the illusions. So we know, just like we say our door is always open, Malik, as we were saying today, the lower self can do so much thing, but the higher self can't oversee the lower self. And that's when we give glory to the Holy Spirit that's working in man. How? To bring them to a place of forgiveness, to bring them to a place like you humbling yourself to the court, but you ain't getting ready to go to prison per se. It's something missing. And when something missing, then you go get it. You know what I mean? That's the higher self working in man. You know?
It's following a piece of the puzzle, because we all trying to put the puzzle together. You got missing pieces. You got to go get them.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yes. And this wisdom is only known when we've begun to make the ascension, you know, through remembering.
You still find.
Yes, this through remembrance. When I say we're not converting nobody, you know, we going back to our original state. This is no conversion here at the BBT. What I'm going to convert you to? It ain't nothing I can convert you to, you know?
Oh, what you mean? You gonna turn me into a zebra from a giraffe? What?
Right. But worship is a form of remembrance, and it ain't the only one. When we talk about meditation, it's defined as the act of contemplation or reflection of spiritual matters. So the words are synonyms. They mean the same thing: meditation and contemplation. That's what I say. Before you make a move, you haven't contemplated on it, you haven't meditated on it. I use the analogy like we got to get a flush and fill and reboot our hard drive. And a lot of people do. It's a lot of ways we have to change how we greet our brothers and sisters. It's a lot of us that got to come back to the source and say, man, I was in my lower self. That's what this is about, man. That's Jesus. That's God body stuff to me, man. When man honors man, because I do it. That's how I know the power of that. It does something to man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And once we as men break that cycle, and that cycle can be broken to where the empresses see us in unity and synchronicity, man, then it'll be more pleasing to the eye. Because I know too many Moors, Noble Alonzo, that got young children and women, they ain't messing with that Moor stuff them Negroes talking about. Hey, come on, man. When I have to sit down and I don't have to sit down and so many people and be like, well, they be like, well, I ain't never met no more like you. I said, I know, because you're talking to me. But you have to get the right stuff to where it feel good. You know what I mean? Being who you are should feel good. It's no force. You have to put nobody else on notice. How? This is for you. It's for you to proclaim, declare, and due process how you live, how you operate. Being a part of something. This ain't got nothing to do with outside of yourself, man. You know? This is science. And Allah lives not in the nose and tongues. There is no way for that essence in any idol shrine. It can't live like that. Allah have to live in our hearts. So when we be speaking of more science, we can't be call Allah something outside of us. When we talking about that divine essence, Noble Alonzo.
I was just waiting to find Allah where?
Yeah, in the heart. Even in the surah, even in the Bible, it tell you. When I break it down from the Bible, then when I break it down from the Islamic text, you can go to Surah 7, Ayat 205, and the Holy Quran states, and remember your Lord within yourself. It says, remember the Lord within yourself, humbly and with fear and without loudness, in words in the morning and in the afternoons, and be not of those who are neglectful. It says, remember the Lord within you, within yourself, Malik. It didn't say remember the God sitting on some throne.
And so yourself, in yourself, within yourself.
That's what it say.
Yeah.
See? And these are confirmations of the importance of worship. Islamically, they call it ibadah. It's the important truth that raised the faith, the iman, you know, of the Moorish and the pursuit of being that perfect man, that perfect woman, aka Yahshua. In that manifestation is our Moorish Quran. In the Quran, he was a student in many different mystery schools. You would know that if you got your Silent Brotherhood of the East. You would know this. You am I right about what I'm saying, Nobles? Come on.
Absolutely.
It wouldn't be what I'm saying wouldn't be a mystery to nobody on here. That's more. They'd be like, what is he talking about? Silent Brotherhood of the East. It goes with your Quran, which he sat in only to find common or synchronicity with those he saw, sent to redeem and save. And wherever Yahshua sat, he actually corrected the teachings that were given to him and passed all the tests. In chapter 12, page 19 of our Moorish Holy Quran, Ayat 1, it says, in silent meditation, Yahshua sat beside a flowing spring. It was Holy Day, Friday, and many people of the servant caste were near the palace, were near the place. Also, chapter 11, page 18, Ayat 16 of our Moorish Holy Quran states, regard not then what any man has said. Let us forget the flesh and go with mind into the land of fleshless things. Mind never does forget, and backwards through the ages, aka the cycle of times. Masterminds can trace themselves, and thus we know. Are y'all seeing the synchronicity?
Yes, sir. I see.
When I say it's science in the writings, when people be trying to act so powerful, I said, dude, I don't need no other book. I said, you ain't put the cipher together to put this puzzle together, to put these sephirots together as a functioning puzzle, especially how powerful the Moorish Quran is and the Silent Brotherhood of the East, and be able to put the Quran and the Bible side by side. Huh?
Absolutely.
To show you from no biasness. It can be if both of them talk about some of the same ancestors. You still ain't figured that out yet? We still acting crazy like that. The Bible and the Quran got the same ancestors. They try to throw you off with the Islamic spelling. But if you're an Islamic scholar, you know this. Y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's reference, is people that done the work. Bertram Thomas, his book from the Arab, he told you from his pen, from dealing with the so-called Arab. Vladimir Dale told you what the ARAP consists of. Told you what the Arab consists of. Told you the nationality and the U of the Arab. The ancient Arab. Just like David McRitchie told you who was the ancient Imatra Britain. This is scientific history. This is more science. This is a self-examination for anyone or for any who are servants of Allah. And in this context, servants mean slave per se. We as Moors are to serve our Father God Allah, who is master and sent unto us the masterful examples through our prophet, through the flesh. For y'all can be examples. It have to be a so-called master teacher in that context. There's nothing wrong with using those words of glory. What we got to get out of that. We'll call somebody my dog or a BIT, but we can't use the words of glory and give homage. That right there don't even make sense. It don't make sense. In chapter 38, page 38, ayah 1 and 2, it says, repent not, O man, and the state of servitude. It is the appointment of Allah, and have many advantages. It removed thee from cares and solicitudes in life. So it's saying it's moving a lot of the burdens and a lot of the extra baggage that you have when you don't have a place to go, when you in that dark place. Even when you in a higher state, you still need to know how to keep that battery charged to stay in the essence, because you want those RPMs to be at a certain rate. You want that carburetor to be tuned at a certain rate at all the times, so it can function right, so it can move right. This is when I say you must continue to add to your cup until the flesh is gone. And the honor of a servant is his fidelity. His highest virtue is submission and obedience. That's why we submit and we are obedient to our higher self. That's why when you operating, because you get the cares of the world to Allah. And that manifestation will take care of all things, which will continue to keep us wandering in the unknown. We keep running into our words like submission and praise, meditation, prayer, worship, remembrance. Remember, in our teachings, these are the tenets of saving power that man and woman can utilize. When I talk about the self-examination, it's constant, because man and woman in our lower state, we are internally a beast in the wilderness. Think about it. Even when I deal with our map, and when I use acronyms, I say our map is our Moorish American prayer. A map is a guide to get us to a destination that is known by the pure of heart. And our prophet, and I teach as an example, our prophet the way. In the flesh, I'm showing the way, the truth, and the light of Allah. Chapter 10, page 16, ayat 17 and 18. The nations of the earth see Allah from different points of view. That's why you got to have a clear understanding and can't be upset, because most of people understand Allah in a certain manifestation. And so he does not see them the same to everyone. Man names the part of Allah that he or she sees. And this to him or her is all of Allah. And every nation sees a part of Allah. And every nation has a name for Allah. The Dhikr, the DHIKR, is another method of remembrance. And with that acronym, we call upon the names or the attributes of Allah. Remember, in Moorish science, we call in our Moorish American map, Allah is my guide, my protectorate, my salvation. Watch this, the attributes of Allah. As we see from our Moorish Holy Quran, it tells us that Allah has many names. So to call upon the names giving spiritual aid and relief. And the Holy Quran of Mecca, Surah 17, ayah 110 says, and I quote, O Muhammad, I invoke Allah, or invoke the most gracious Allah, by whatever name you invoke him. Did y'all catch what I just said?
Yep, by whatever name you invoke him.
All you got to do is go fact check it, and we'll be like Heinz ketchup. It's in there. It's in there. And see, people not doing the work. They trying to act like this Crips and Bloods. I said, no, brother, you lost. It says by whatever name you invoke him. It is the same. It is the same. It is the same. It is the same. For he yes, for he belongs to the best names. He belongs to the best names. And offer your salat prayer neither aloud nor in a low voice, but follow a way between. So in our map, as prescribed by our prophet, he has given us 2 of the best names, and these our protector and guide. Remember, it's in our Moorish American prayer. When I tell y'all how simple things are so powerful, it's these 2 names that believers worldwide seek when in prayer. Guidance and protection, regardless of denomination, nobles. And if they believe in the one God, then protection and guidance are human necessities that are only comforted or comforted through worship and remembrance. So if that's the case, Allah is my protector and my guide. This is why we say in our prayer, this is also a zikr or a zirk, a Z-H-I-K-R, which is a remembrance. Which is a remembrance, that is expounded upon through breath and eternalized and applied through the will, which is a force of Allah, y'all. We almost done. The 5 divine principles are also names of Allah when we break down love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I just want to give the simple stuff. This is the divine love, and it leads one to Allah, the Al-Hajj. And through it grants us peace, which is as-salam. This is all synchronized or interconnected from the guidance and the protection of Allah. It leads one to the true wisdom of self and creator, which is a unifying divine experience. And it gives you and I an utmost peace. And this is freedom and justice. Justice is a man, is a woman being held accountable for his or her own ways and actions. AKA, that's when we talk about a reward and a penalty, which is manifest by man and woman himself or herself. This is also justice on the spiritual level, and that is to Allah alone. Remember when Noble Alonzo speaks, he say, Muha Yamin, that's the protector. He tell you that at the end in our benediction. Am I right about it, Alonzo?
Wow.
It tells you what the guide is. The truth, the peace, the Ya Hadi, the Ya Hajj, and the peace is the Ya Salam. It's no different. And there are just a handful of names, which we call some of the beautiful 99 names of Allah. I remember me and Alonzo broke down the 99 beautiful names of Allah. You can get the Holy Name Bible, and it calls it Yahweh this, Yahweh that, Yahweh this, Yahweh that. The same thing is Allah this, Allah that, the beautiful names of Allah. No matter what name you call on, all the names that give God glory and praise is okay. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. The 99 beautiful names of Allah that our prophet placed in our map. And these names is to be called upon to conquer up after prayer while in meditation and contemplation. Those who understand the tasawwuf knows that the sheikh is supposed to guide you, and Noor's guide is the prophet, Noble Drew Ali. And he has given us all that we need. When I say the house is built, the furniture is in there. If we operate on the right manifestation, no one will be able to shut us down because we're doing what the laws say that we can do as a body. It's nothing to prove. It's nothing to run the court to do. It's for us to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, for us to walk in synchronicity. And this important prayer and worship and remembrance is an integral part of our divine creed because it is definitely pertaining to Allah, and Allah alone demonstrates through the action of the application of our principles, our tenets, and our beliefs. So to call upon Allah's name in daily in all that we do is remembering and keeping the name of Allah in our hearts. And we'll keep the name Allah on our tongue. And this is what produces mercy, justice, love, and right, because Allah becomes our guide and our protector. If you understand our Moorish American prayer, if you don't, then I'm not talking to you. Well, see, the lower self is alive as well in the movement. And it's because some Moors do not know what the divine creed is. No one has taught on that since our prophet and what we do at the BBT. I haven't witnessed Moors to teach about the divine creed that I've expounded on and researched, because it's going to destroy a lot of that sovereign citizen behavior. We must teach our divine creed and nationality. That's it. You know, that's it. So I didn't want to go too long. I just wanted to give a little introduction of the book that I gathered and compiled. It's a few more pages, but I only want to go for a little hour, because I don't want to put too much on, at too many times. I challenge people to get the research so they can read for themselves, so they can follow along, especially if you're Moor and you study Moor science. I suggest you follow along. I suggest you hit us up. I suggest you send an email so you can get the literature, so you can get the science, so you can start asking questions,
Right. So the teaching of the divine creed, we would be talking about the teaching of how to live as a noble.
Islam.
What we see, a lot of people chasing something that's outside of their normal activity, meaning how to live their life on a practical level. Right? So it's almost like you want to add something onto your life so you can be someone different instead of learning who you are already. So that part about living it out, that's the essence of the divine creed, because it is your spirituality. It's your divine, I would just say, heritage, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So that is an activity that we live out on a daily basis, just being ourselves. But first, what you need to learn yourself, to be yourself. And even we can take it into the spiritual when the apostles asked Jesus, when they say the questions that would stick out in the scriptures that we remember, when they asked, one of the profound questions is, Jesus or Master, teach us how to pray. Or actually, they didn't say how, they said teach us what to pray.
Mm-hmm.
So, or he said how, they asked how, and he relayed what. Basically, so the demonstration, more or less, of how you live it out, the how part, is the key. Because we can have all the philosophical sayings, and I can sound so eloquent when I put words and ways together by the grace of Allah, but how's my life?
Mm-hmm.
Right? How am I living it out? When I wake up in the morning, am I a pleasure to be around? Am I building my character up daily? Do I recognize my fault at the same time as my strength?
Mm-hmm.
So this is living out the divine creed. This is as we build and as we grow in degree. So the BBT, by the grace of Allah, through Sheikh Kyrie, we present a process of development and saying you can come to the table and let's build together, as the scriptures say, how good it is for brothers to dwell together.
Mm-hmm.
And as well as our emphasis. So with that, I say peace and love,
Islam. And everybody that's on here, if y'all don't have my book, man, I recommend y'all hit me up so you can get it. It's one of my books. It's called The Interpretation of the Divine Creed of Moorish Islam. So you can start having, I like to call it prerequisites, man, things that you can have. So because there's a lot of things going on in this world, man. It's a lot of people that go on people's pages just to target people. How I know I've been doing this for a long time. I've been through the fire. So if I can just throw little nuggets out there for people, you got to be careful. People make fake pages just to play with your emotions, especially when you're going through situations and things, So I challenge us to be careful and keep our mind sharp and never hold nothing inside here at the BBT. That's what I when we on Saturday in the DAP class, these are the times when nobles need to ask them questions, even though I'm doing a small demonstration, but I want you to have the science so you can study it, so you can read it, so you can get a clear understanding, so you can write notes. And then you come back to the cipher and we build as we build confidence in each other. But this is also the time for brothers to ask questions that's coming in from misconstrued things that they might have heard. For if anybody got anything that they want to share or may want clear understanding, this is the time. And that's why I'm gonna cut it short every Sunday. Every Saturday, but challenge you to get the literature. You must get the literature. So that's your meditation and your contemplation time. I wrote almost 15 manuals, especially if you're new coming in. And when I say new, just into the way things is done, because a lot of stuff may have been coming at you, you can see manuals. Just like if you're trying to put a puzzle together and somebody showing you how to start the wrong way, and you might start at the top and they might start from the bottom, or you might start from the middle. Okay, well, with us, you're going to get a manual. They say if you want to learn how to do it all 3 ways, this is the way. You see what I'm saying? And each way is a way. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is the time as we close. Do anybody got anything that they want to ask or been throw at them or anything? This is the time where maybe you need something to be answered. This is the time, especially from our brother Biggs. I don't know if you got anything. Is there anything you had, Noble, before we close out?
Oh, me or Alonzo?
Who is that? Yeah.
No, sir.
Okay. Because like I said, man, this is the time, because I don't want nobody getting themselves in trouble or having a misunderstanding or saying that we don't know. This is the cipher. This is the place for you can know. This is the place to get questions answered. This is a safe space. It's okay for us not to know everything. And that's the thing when I started teaching with a lot of men, and if I was going into prisons, it's nothing to embarrass to be if we don't know. That takes an honorable man or honorable woman coming to a cipher. What's the purpose of coming to the cipher if you don't want to know something? That shows wisdom. That shows intelligence. When a man can look in his heart and say, it's something that is here. I need to involve myself in that, especially when it's people that look like you. That's an honorable man. That's why I say with me, this ain't nothing that you may ever been a part of. No, this is totally different because I'm here as a brother. I'm not gonna send you in no burning house, so you can ask anything. Don't hold nothing back, Noble, because this is the time.
Even if you don't have a direct question, particularly at this particular time, what you may give us even some feedback or observation of what you heard.
Yeah.
If you would like to. Islam.
Y'all can hear me.
Yeah.
I probably would say the only thing that I heard today, because I was on YouTube, I just got into the room, but I think you said something to the effect of that somebody's reversed the wisdom. Just in my mind, I figure even if it's reversed, isn't there only one principle? Like whether it's reverse or forward, like it's still, like y'all say, you can work from the bottom, the middle, or the end. Like it's still one. So I don't know. That's why I don't really have a question. I haven't formed a question at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just putting it together in my mind, like.
But your observation is on point. I tell you that. Your observation is on point. You know, where the angle you coming from. Absolutely. Because I use the analogy of when people hear the swastika and they think the swastika, that's its original name. But when you go to the museums and everything, it's a form of science, a good spirit going in and bad energy coming out. And it was taken from the continent of Africa. So just because somebody will say something bad, but really it's good. And really it's 360 degrees of wisdom. So when we look at things, that's why I say, as you did with a good eye, you must investigate. You must investigate things, you know, and that's how we do. We don't investigate it to come with the science of the matter, because science and all that stuff. So when I say reverse, I use it in an analogy where it's reversed in an aspect to keep you away from understanding that it's talking about you, not in a reverse cycle. Because it's putting in a Masonic secret, it just put in your face.
Wow.
And you,
Right.
yeah, so it's nothing. I'll put it like this. I'll give it to you like this on a more layman terms. How can I say it and be politically correct? It's really like a Masonic secret per se, but a Masonic secret so low that if you in the right group and you in a quiz bowl and you have brothers that can dissect certain things, you'll figure it out. Pretty much. Once you start looking at law and history, you'll start seeing everything in reverse. Like you'll start looking at things and be like, oh, this is why this is covered in this aspect. This is why this layer is over this. Or when I speak on Kabbalistically speaking, when I talk about the Baphomet, but at the eye, from a lower understanding, you would understand that don't mean nothing scary. When you look at the Baphomet, as I broke it down, because it's written Kabbalistically. So it's a lot of science that they'll make all animal figures, they're nothing but pious hieroglyphs. So when I say reverse, it's taking you from a positive and making it a so-called negative thought.
It's a projection, right? So it's a projection of how it's being distributed, right, for the masses. Again, I can even bring up the science even when we go into the mathematics, extreme mathematics. We go to number 5 and we say it's power refinement. All right, we say power is truth, truth is the light. Right? So how could you refine the truth if the truth is the truth? Basically kind of at the root of what you're saying. The refinement comes in how you use the truth. Because which is truth, and truth stands alone. Yeah. So watch this. I could come now and hoodwink you, knowing the truth, right, and put it in a form and fashion, right, and doctor it to where it is the truth. But if you have not learned and yet can discern the core of what's happening, then you find yourself in harm's way.
Yeah.
And what we doing here, we trying to clear up all of that. Clear it all up. So you get the raw unfiltered truth so you can navigate correctly.
Islam. And see, and I'm glad we having this built as we close, because I talk about it in another aspect, like in IDMR. I hear a lot of static in the background. Like the form of trickery. Like if I take a bottle and say this is beet juice, but I put alcohol in it. You took it in a manifestation thinking it's beet juice.
Yeah.
You understand? And so that's what happens to a lot of people saying I'm gonna give you beet juice, but it end up poison. And all you got to do is ingest it, and then it pollutes you. You know what I mean? I'm not taking a poison bottle and saying that, oh, it's good stuff in it. You know what I mean? Whatever I should give you should edify. You say what?
No, what that make me thinking of? That vignette that you gave on Jalen Rose. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. It's like if you don't read the instructions on a bottle, you take this, as we say, more science, and use it for your own self-self in a certain devilish manner, like the brother from NBA, Jalen Rose, said one day he had an idea that he wanted to fragrance smell up the dorm room or whatever like that for good fragrance, right? Like making it smell good. So what his smart self did, he said, I'm gonna pour some what it was, pine sol, something like that, in a pot or something and turn it on because it smells good.
Yeah. Oh, that Febreze.
So that whatever it was.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
So he tried to do the thing, tell the story like to make it smell good in the whole environment.
Yeah.
But what you did was you broke the seal.
Yep.
The code and the Russian that you're supposed to use this product by.
Yep.
Once you heated that up in a pot, you're about to kill everybody in the place.
Yep. All those chemicals released.
All the chemicals released by you not following the instruction or the direction and the way in which that particular formula was made to be used.
Yep. Islam.
You gotta follow. You can't deviate. Like Chico said, it's only one path. It's only one temple.
So I don't like I be telling people I don't have nothing. I don't have no magic wand. Like I don't be I don't be knowing what people be thinking this is. I'm a map and a guide to show what an example in the flesh. It's nothing. It's nothing criminal. It's no secret. It's no other law. You know, and once we know that, we can move on. We can start building something. But yeah, Noble, this is not even complex. So I want to give y'all honor, man. I want to give y'all glory. And once again, I recommend everybody on here to please get my book, Get With Me. I'll give you an extra because next week we're going to talk about the Moorish American Light of Ali. It's another one of my books, and it's giving you the basics. I'm giving you all the basics for you can study it on your own, for you can be like, dang, I didn't know. Of course you didn't know. The only way you get to know, you have to be at a place of not knowing, right?
Right.
At one point, you ain't even know how to wipe your butt. You had to learn. Everything is a learning experience. So don't be afraid to learn, man. That's what I'm saying. Don't be intimidated to learn neither. Everybody at a place. I was at a place, Lamarck was at a place, Malik was at a place, and now we all still at a place. So all I got is honor and gratitude for y'all, man, and let's just keep growing. Like I said, I got gifts coming for everybody. I got new turbans came in. I just got to cut everything. So yeah, man, it's all good. We all good? You good, Victorious? You good, Noble? We good?
We're good.
Gratitude, man.
Yes, yes.
Gratitude. But yep, tomorrow is Sunday, and tomorrow is our spiritual day. We give a good spiritual message because that's what this is about. We get history, but we are spiritual men and women, so we can't let nobody get us out of who we are. We can't do that. You know, we can't let nobody take away our divine creed and our spirituality. We're not going to do that here at the BBT. So I give everyone honor, no matter what you call God. I give no matter what you have on your head or what you don't have on your head. I give honor to a person that know everything. I give honor to a person that don't know everything. I give honor to everybody on here that listened to me and you. And I welcome everybody to our cipher to join us on StreamYard so we can have, discussion. So we can be a real roundtable. Not no debating, because I'm going to shut that down so that I feel that lower self. But a discussion to bring our notes, for us can walk out the house as a body. So with that being said, man, once again, peace and love. If we don't have no questions, Noble, let's take us out with our benediction. And that's it, man. Oh, and great workout too, man, everybody in the morning.
What's that?
I said great workout too this morning. Everybody, y'all welcome to work out with us every morning, Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. Monday, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. And we go Monday through Thursday at 5:30 p.m. So everybody welcome to join.
Indeed. Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, my salvation. By night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. Ashe, Shalom Aleichem, Arashah, Inshallah, and Ashe. Peace, 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 peace. Noble, right, take it away.
Law. Our government benediction reads as follows. The benediction of Allah be upon thee and thine always, as thou shalt strive to do credit to Allah. Make haste to bestow thine acts of love upon thy brethren. Do the best to shun thine evil ones. Remember to take succor of the best of knowledge, wisdom, fortitude, charity, love, and all standing, that you might nourish the souls of men. Let truth
Where you go?
Yeah, now we can't. Now you muted yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to start with the top.
All right.
All right, so let's get back to the top. Islam, now for a certain me move over here. May the venison of the law be upon me and thine always. And thou will strive to give credit to Allah. In case to bestow my acts of love on thy brethren, do the best to shun thine evil one. Remember, take suckle from the breast of knowledge, wisdom, fortitude, charity, love, and all standing, that you might nourish the souls of men. Let truth be the shield and the manifest battle of falsehood. Know that Moors do not depict the lies of the gates of paradise by the means of petty or criminal theft, but behold, the key to salvation already rests in thine own hands. Yes, even though a portion of our nature is weakness, instability, and inconstancy, there's still a greater part of our nature that is divine. May Allah protect thee, guide thee, preserve thee, lengthen thy age, and give thee everlasting peace. Al-Rahman, Al-Rahim, Al-Haq, Ya Muhammad. And at the BBT, when we say Al-Haq, that's one of the illustrious attributes of Allah, and it means the truth. And when we say Ya Muhammad, that's another illustrious attribute of Allah that means to protect. We at the BBT see ourselves as truth protect, but we cast our net out to all true and divine licenses to come and join on to us. For the truth has no sides, for the truth is one, as man is with Allah. So with that, we say peace and love. Islam,
Islam.
peace, 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 peace.
Peace.
Gratitude and love for our guests.
Gratitude.
Yes, indeed.
That's books with a Z. Once again, this broadcast is brought to you by mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z, where reading funds the mental. Also brought to you by My Out Sons Tees, the T of Tees, Divinely Prepared. Having musical stylings by BH Bay Music. Once again, that's BH Bay Music. And be sure to check out our company known as Morris Haberdasher. Check us out at morrishaberdasher.com for all of your everyday items and all of your religious regalia. And once again, all of these companies are powered by ALO Design Pros for all of your marketing, web design, and any creative needs that you may have. Islam, peace, 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 peace. I'm a spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seeds sowing, harvest reaping, man with a meaning. I have yet to leave, I'm still breathing, to quit, I have no reason. I'm asleep, but I be trying to live my dream. I cannot even act if it's all easy. Either you gon' do it or you don't really. It ain't no in between, baby. You can ask the sun, it's an everyday thing. Consistency in your routine is how you bring reality. Working like a slave, that's how I made this masterpiece. Living like a god, I lay at night, I rest in peace. They remember me, but I am not around the beat.
Peace.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.